Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too. To improve my speaking skill, let's get it started. Today, it is June 4th, 2023. It's on Sunday and sunny outside. How are you spending Sunday? I'm starting Sunday with a cup of coffee. Which do you prefer, coffee or tea? For the breakfast in the morning. Are you addicted? Are you addicted to caffeine or coffee? I will choose drinking a cup of coffee in the morning. I will choose to drink a cup of coffee in the morning for breakfast. I also like tea, but I'm thinking to change from coffee to tea. What other criteria with which you make a choice? What do you make a What do you give priority to the most when you make a choice? What do you prioritize the most when you make a choice? When you make a choice, what do you give a priority? What do you give a priority to the most? What do you give your priority to the most? When you make a choice, what do you make your priority to the most? What do you make? What do you give your priority to the most? Make the choice. Make a choice. Make a choice. Make a choice. Make a choice. Make an option. Make a choice. Make an option. We face the situation where we have to make a choice many times, which are exhausting our brain. So reducing the number of making a choice is the key to less exhausted in order to focus on what we really need to do. Make a choice. By when do I have to make a choice? When when it comes to making a choice, what do you give your priority to the most? When it comes to making a choice, what do you prioritize the most as a criteria? When it comes to making a choice, what do you give your priority to the most? Price, quality, emotion, and so on. I have no choice but to solve the problems on my own, by myself. There is no choice but to do our best in order to achieve the goal. There is no option. There is no option but to do our best in order to achieve our goals. Only we can achieve the goal. No one can make your dreams come true. When it comes to skills, knowledge, and so on. In order to accumulate knowledge, we have to study. We have to cram the information into our brain. In order to get a certain skill, we need to practice. We cannot get such skills or knowledge as easy as downloading files. We need efforts. So in this way, there is no choice but to do our best. There is no choice but to do efforts in order to obtain a certain skill or knowledge. I had no choice but to obey the rules. I had no choice but to adhere to the rule. What I was told from my boss. I had no option but to obey, adhere to, stick with what I was told to do by my boss. I had no option. I had no choice. I had no choice but to obey, adhere to. Abide by my boss. An academic degree. Do you have an academic degree? The position requires an academic degree. The positions require an academic degree of science. Academic. An academic degree. Do you have an academic degree of biology? Do you have an academic degree of engineering? Do you have an academic degree of engineering? Academic degree, bachelor degree, master degree. Academic degree, academic degree of university, academic degree of high school, academic academic degree, an academic degree, a bachelor degree. The positions require an academic degree of medicine. Many professions, positions, occupations require an academic degree of university. Many positions require an academic degree of university. Many positions require an academic degree of university. An academic degree, an academic degree, an academic degree, an academic degree. An academic degree. Some professions require an academic degree. Some positions require an academic degree of university. An academic degree of university. An academic degree of philosophy, geology, anthropology, astronomy, history, language. What is the building over there in the distance? Which is it is an academy. I forgot the name, but it is academy where you can learn singing, dancing, acting, and so on. I see. Academy, academy, academy. Academy. The school had opportunity to have a baseball game with the academy, thanks to the connection between the teachers. Are you thinking to learn? Are you thinking of learning singing and dancing in the academy? Which academy do you recommend that I take the lesson? Do I need to belong to an academy to learn how to sing, dance, and so on? Or should I take the private lesson from a teacher somewhere? Which is your recommendation? Do I belong to an academy or go to a private lesson owned in a house or somewhere else? Academy. Academy. Teaching, singing, dancing, acting, and so on. What can I learn from the academy? What does the academy do? What does the academy specialize in? What does the academy specialize? What does the academy specialize in? Do you think going to a school is important academically? Or it is not efficient because we can study at home too through the internet? What is the best way to educate children academically? What do you think will be the best way to educate children academically? Going to school, or study at home through the internet? Academically. 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 academically excellent students. Academically and physically excellent students. I really envy those who were excellent at both academically and physically. I was really envy those. I really envied those. I really envied those who were excellent, both academically and physically. He made the academically important finding. And some people sometimes find academically important things. Academically. Academically. Some academically advanced students can skip to higher levels. I've heard such system, educational system. I heard that academically advanced students can skip the ordering level. I mean, skip to the higher levels at once. I heard that academically advanced students can skip to higher levels at once, suddenly. I heard that there is a system where academically advanced students can skip the curriculum which should be taken and enter higher levels, enter higher phase, enter higher grade suddenly. I heard that there is a education system where academically advanced students can skip the curriculum which should be taken as educational schedule to go on to the upper grade and go on to the higher level suddenly, skipping the usual order, usual step. I heard there is an educational system where an academically advanced student can skip the curriculum which needs to be taken and go on to the higher grade suddenly, skipping some phases. Academically advanced student and academically challenging. Passing the examination was academically challenging, but I got over it. I overcame it. If I were you, I would definitely ask her for a date. If I were you, I would definitely resign on the spot. If I were you, I would definitely stick to the company. If I were you, I would definitely stick with the policy. I used to have a friend who arrived at the destination definitely on time. If we promised to meet at the destination 12 o'clock, he was there definitely on time, 12 o'clock. If he arrived earlier than the decided time, he was waiting on the spot until the time turned the decided time, like a robot. I used to have a friend who was very punctual at time, and he really arrived at the destination definitely on time. For example, when he promised to visit me at 12 o'clock, he definitely rang the doorbell just on time, 12 o'clock. If he arrived at my house earlier than that promised time, he was waiting until the time reached the promised time in front of my house, and he pushed the doorbell just on time, 12 o'clock. He was like a robot. Definitely. Is it a definite answer? Definite information. Believe it or not, it is definite information. Believe it or not, it is definite information. Definite proof. Definite. My attorney told me that winning the lawsuit would be very difficult, as difficult as winning the lottery, unless a definite proof came out. My attorney told me that winning the lawsuit would be as difficult as hitting the lottery, unless a definite proof would come out. Taking the route where we entered by would be definite. Otherwise, we might lose our way. And taking the route we took when we entered, is more definite. Taking the route when we entered by would be more definite. In order to go back to the place without missing. Taking the same route as we entered by would be definite without losing our way. Are you a graduate of the university? Graduate. Are you a graduate of the university? Graduate of university. High school, junior high school, elementary school. Are you a graduate of the high school? Graduate, graduate. Graduate. The graduates from the university are reputed very well. The graduates from the university are well known for hard working. When did you graduate from? Which university and when did you graduate from? Which university did you graduate from? It is customary to wear unique costumes at the graduation of the university. And every year during the graduation ceremony, every year very unique costumes are on news. And every year when it is graduation season, the students wearing unique costumes are broadcasted on news. What did you major at university? What are you going to major at the university? Which major are you interested in? Which major do you have the interest in? Why did you choose the major? What made you wanna major in philosophy? Which major are you going to take? Which major are you going to take? Geology, astronomy, engineering, mechanic, biology, language, culture, literature, medicine. Biological findings. Interesting biological findings. Biological medicine. Biological medicine. I'm using a biological medicine. Biological approach to the disease. 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 Biological. Biological parents. My biological parents. 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 Biological. 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 I've been using biological medicine for my illness, ailment, disease. Biologically accurate. Some male animals are more colorful than those of women. Biologically. Some animals of male are more colorful than those of women. Biologically, to attract women. Some male animals are very colorful to attract women. Biologically. Men and women have different features biologically. Men and women have different features in our body biologically. We cannot live without oxygen and water. Biologically, we cannot live under the sea. We cannot live in the sea. Biologically. On the other hand, fish cannot live in the air. Biologically. People cannot live in the water biologically. On the other hand, fish cannot live in the air biologically. Eating too much is no more healthy than sleeping too much. Having a rest is no less important than eating healthy. His commitment to the environmental conservation was admitted by many people, winning the prize. His commitment to the environmental conservation was acknowledged by people, and won the medal. Conservation, dedication to the conservation, devotion to the conservation, commitment to the conservation of all the technology, conservation of all the culture, conservation of important cultural assets. Conservation of our beautiful earth, conservation of the nature, conservation of the beautiful beach, conservation. Every local pitched in order to conserve the beautiful beach. Every local gathered and pitched in for the cleanup project in order to conserve the beautiful beach. Conserve water, toilet paper, tissue paper. Conserve important cultural assets. All of the locals gathered and pitched in so as to conserve the beautiful beaches in the island. All of the locals gathered and pitched in order to conserve the beautiful beaches, bays, seas, towns, streets, and so on. Conserve. We should conserve all the traditional culture, events, festivals, and so on. I was watching the panel discussion where some specialists were discussing about the discussed conservation of our beautiful Earth. Specialists in some fields. I was watching a panel discussion where some specialists in different fields gathered, discussing. I was watching a video of the panel discussion where some specialists in different fields participated in. Specialist. Which specialist do you wanna be? Or you don't try to be a specialist. Specialist, expert, special on TV. I used to be looking forward to the special of a certain TV program, but I lost the interest in watching TV. Special technique. I use no special technique. I just do as everyone else. I just study as everyone else. But speaking to myself might be a special technique to study English. Special expertise. Special field. Your special field. Special occasion. We tend to put aside money for special occasions. We tend to set aside money for special occasions. We are up to set aside money for special occasions. We are inclined to put aside money for special occasions. Excuse me, I'm looking for shop specializing in furoshiki, the wrapping cloth with decorative design. I'd like to buy it as a souvenir and hang it on the wall of my room. What do you specialize in? What do you specialize as your occupation? Math, physics, engineering? To my surprise, the ramen restaurant specializes in only one taste of ramen, one genre of ramen, one taste of ramen, to focus on the good taste, quality, and so on. To my surprise, the ramen restaurant specializes in only one taste of soup and ramen. The expert specializing in emergency response was invited into the news. The specialist specializing in emergency response was invited to the breaking news in the news program. An expert specializing emergency response was invited to the news. Specialize, 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 specialize. What do you want to specialize as your occupation in the future? I was wishing for specializing in medicine when I was a student, but I gave up because my score didn't reach enough to pass the examination. I was once wishing for becoming a doctor and specializing in medicine to help patients, especially with my same disease, atopic dermatitis, eczema, and so on. Did you know that Mount Fuji is classified as an active volcano? Did you know that Mount Fuji is classified as an active volcano? The customer is classified as the most difficult to deal with, cope with. Classifying the important things. First, we need to classify something as unwanted things. Some brand goods might be classified as expensive. Or, to my surprise, oil is classified as mammal. To my surprise, oils are classified as mammal. Classification of vice and virtue. Classification of what you did as wrongdoing. Classification of what you did as wrongdoing. Classification. 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 Classification of job as play, game, and so on. Classification of job as suffering might be obsolete. old-fashioned, out of the date. Classification of work as suffering might be obsolete. Classification of going to school as education might be obsolete. Some classified information was leaked from the entity, which led to the arrest of the executive. The warehouse, surrounded by hard steel, houses classified documents. The storehouse, surrounded by hard steel, stores classified documents. Classified. To my surprise, whales are classified as mammal. And to my surprise, whales belong to mammal. Most of the people will go on to get a job after graduation. Most students will go on to get a job after graduation. Not challenging, risky dreams. Go on to the next page. I often hear the phrase, go on to the next page from the examination, from the test. After filling in the document, please go on to the Windows C. After filling out the document, please go on to the Windows C and submit it to the staff. Hand it in to the staff. Pass it into the staff. Hand in. Turn it into the staff. Present it to 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 the staff. After filling in the document, please go on to the Windows C and turn it in to the staff. Hand it in to the staff. After filling out the document, please go on to the window A and turn it in to the staff. Hand it in to the staff. Soon after training, I got tired of it. So I felt something wrong in my body. Soon after I started the training, I got tired of it. If you are tired of daily routine, why not have a day off and walk in the forest to have a relax as a pastime? I do the dishes and the laundry every day. The prejudice of the role of doing the dishes and the laundry by women is not good. I hate the prejudice of the role as women of doing the dishes and the laundry. Everyone should do that when they have the time. Do the dishes, do the laundry. I do the dishes and the laundry every day. Laundry, do the laundry. I do the dishes and do the laundry every day. I do the dishes and the laundry. I do the dishes and the laundry every day. I do the dishes and do the laundry every day. I do the dishes and do the laundry every day. I do the dishes and the laundry every day. I do the dishes and do the laundry every day. I do the dishes and the laundry every day. I do the dishes and the laundry every day. I do the laundry and the dishes every day. How often do you do the laundry? 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 Every day or every other day? Every two other day? Every two once in a week? Once a week? Every 2 days? Every 3 days? Every week? Super tired as I was, I did the dishes after work. Super exhausted as I was, I did the dishes and the laundry. Leaving some energy for doing dishes and laundry is important after work. Or before finishing the laundry before work might be the strategy. What is your favorite pastime in your spare time or lunchtime? What is your favorite pastime? My favorite pastime is cleaning because I can be relaxed at the same time the rooms become clean, so I can get two benefits from one suffering. My favorite pastime is to cleaning. My favorite pastime is to clean. I can exercise by cleaning, and at the same time my rooms become cleaner. I can get two benefits from one suffering. My favorite pastime was to sing at the karaoke before Corona. Can I know your favorite pastime? Pastime. 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 I sometimes feel like going to the beach for pastime. I sometimes feel like going to the beach for pastime. I sometimes feel like going to the beach for pastime. I sometimes feel like going to the beach for pastime. I sometimes feel like I feel like going to the beach. I sometimes feel like going to the beach for pastime. 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 Now, have you ever visited a strolling style garden in Japan? Have you ever visited a strolling style garden in Japan? You can enjoy the changing view as you walk. I was mesmerized by beautifully cut trees, beautifully cut and shaped trees, leaves, flowers, and so on. I was impressed with the beautifully cut trees, beautifully cut shaped trees, and the layout of everything, including ponds, bridges, trees, and so on. They were very beautiful, making an art which beyond the description, beyond the reach of my beyond the reach of description. So I want you to see how beautiful it is from your naked eye. Do you like to stroll along the beach? Do you like to stroll in urban cities or countryside. I'm super tired of strolling in urban cities. I cannot work without bumping into someone, especially in JR Osaka station during rush hour. Do you like strolling in your garden? When I was strolling along the street, I came across an old friend of mine. I ran into an old friend of mine. Some people might singing at the karaoke. Some people might find singing at the karaoke not fun. It depends on your interests, personality, character, and so on. It depends whether or not you have the interest in that field. Some people might find singing at the karaoke very fun. On the other hand, while others are not. Others don't. Some people will find singing at the karaoke so pleasant, while others don't. Some people will find singing at the karaoke very fun, while others don't. Pleasant. Thank you for making my lips so pleasant. Without your participation, this present time would not be made. I really appreciate it for that. Thank you for making my day so pleasant. If it had not been for your participation and collaboration, this pleasant day would not have been made. So I really appreciate it for that. Pleasant, pleasant. Let's make it pleasant. Let's make it a pleasant day. I'm looking forward to the pleasant day. Whenever I look back on my days, most of my memories are filled with unpleasant days. So I cannot recall my days without getting depressed. Is it can be said to you too? Can it be said to you too? Can it be said to you too? Can it be said to you too? Pleasant, 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 pleasant day. I hope it will be more pleasant day tomorrow, and more pleasant day on the next day, day after tomorrow. I hope this phenomenon will continue forever. I hope it will be more pleasant day tomorrow, and more pleasant day after tomorrow. I think this pleasant increasing days will last forever. Now, super exhausted as I was, I gathered the last power to finish the duty. Answering the same questions over and over again will exhaust me. Answering the same questions time and time again will make you exhausted. And answering the same questions time and time again exhaust us. Hey, we are exhausting the budget for the company picnic. We should conserve them. We should cherish them. I was super tired to take a break. on the way to the summit of the mountain. There was no place to sit, so I was obliged to sit on the soil. I was compelled to sit on the soil on the way to the summit of the mountain because I was so exhausted. It was unbelievable that there were many examinees studying in the cold, although there was a room with air conditioning inside. But the places in the shade were all occupied. In summer, I was surprised to see examinees studying outside in the shade, even in the shade, or in the direct sunlight, although there were some rooms with air conditioning inside. I was surprised to see examinees studying in the courtyard in the middle of the summer in August, although there were some rooms with air conditioning inside. I definitely cannot study outside in the middle of the summer like August. It's too hot. I was lucky to be able to park my car in the shade. If I had parked my car in the direct sunlight, it would have been so hot inside after that sightseeing. Since one of the two elevators was out of order, which was making the congestion. Since one of the two elevators was out of the service, out of order, which was creating the congestion. It usually takes time for me to go back to the normal orbit after holidays. It usually takes time for me to go in order after holidays. Out of order. 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 The production machine often went out of order after suspension. So we were prepared for the maintenance after long vacation. We didn't expect the machines would work normally after the suspension. And we thought it miracle if the machine started without a problem after suspension. The production machine was always out of order after suspension. So whenever we thought over the maintenance after the long holidays, we were get depressed because the maintenance took time before the real production assembly. Out of order. I will work on the big project when I'm in order. I will work on the big cleaning project when I'm in order. Out of order. My mother is always out of order. There are no days when she is in order. My mother is always out of order. There is no day when she is in order. Since one of the two elevators was out of order, which was creating the congestion. Out of order. Something is wrong with this car. Maybe something is wrong. I will take I will bring this car to the dealer. Uh, for defects. There must be something wrong with this car because it's emitting noise, shaking, and so on. I was dying of thirst during the club activity, but I was not allowed to take a break or nor drinking water because it was hard training. I was dying of thirst and tiredness during the hard training of the martial art because I was prohibited to take a break nor drink water during the hard training to train my body. I still remember the hard training. I think I will never experience harder than the experiences I had when I was junior high school student. I think I will never experience harder things than the hard training of the martial art when I was a junior high school student. Unfortunately, when I visited the amusement park, the roller coaster I was looking forward to take was out of order, and it was closed. Unfortunately, when I visited the amusement park, when I visited the amusement park, visited the amusement park. Unfortunately, when I visited the amusement park, visited the amusement park, visited the amusement park, visited the amusement park, visited. When I visited the amusement park, when I visited the amusement park, when I visited the amusement park, when I visited, visit, when I visited, visit, when I visited the amusement park, the roller coaster I was looking forward to take was out of order, 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 out of order. I heard a faint sound from a distance. In the distance. So let's see if my ear was correct. We are approaching the sound now. I heard a faint sound from a distance. In the distance. I heard a faint subtle sound of the ambulance in the distance. So let's see if my ear was correct. The boxer fainted with a strong blow from the opponent, but soon came to. The boxer fainted with the opponent's blow, but soon came to. I almost fainted by knowing the failure of the examination. I almost fainted with realizing the failure of the examination. I almost fainted with realizing the failure of the examination. I almost fainted. 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 I almost fainted by knowing the failure. The accumulated fatigue cannot be cured in a day. Nothing will cure the accumulated fatigue of mine. Let me have a week holidays. Nothing, no cure, no treatment will cure my accumulated fatigue. The boxer got an extraordinary blow on his head and he fainted, but he soon came to after a while. The boxer fainted with a strong blow from the opponent, but soon came to. The boxer fainted by getting a strong blow on his head, but soon came to after. But soon after he came to. I hope the patient will come to. When the patient came to on the bed, all of the family members got happy. All of the family members of the patient were waiting for him to come to around the bed. When he came to, everybody surprised and got happy. What is the condition of sleeping? It's like I'm fainted. What is the condition of sleeping? I feel like I fainted during my sleep. But getting up is almost like coming to. Sleeping is like I fainted, and getting up is like I've come to. Sleeping is like I have fainted, and getting up is like I come to. My relative visited me after a while after you left my house. It started to rain heavily after a while after you left my house. I will go out after a while, but let me have a break more. I'm still tired. I will go shopping after a while, but now I'm too tired to go, so yeah, I will go shopping later, after a while. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you!